Thank you very, very much, Senator Padilla. Senator Ossoff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Vice Chair Hovland, I want to touch on something we've seen particularly in Georgia over the last few cycles, which is the partisan and malicious and frivolous use of voter challenges to tie up county election boards, and these challenges are often filed by groups that are spreading baseless conspiracy theories about widespread voter fraud. Just a few numbers for the panel. In 2022, across just 8 counties out of 159 in Georgia, there were 65,000 challenges to voter registration. In Gwinnett County alone in 2022, one group called Voter GA challenged the registrations of 37,500 voters. In December of 2020, Madam Chair, if you can wrap your head around this, one group, and this is during the Senate runoffs in which I was elected, one group called True the Vote challenged 364,000 voter registrations across the state of Georgia. My understanding is that 2 or 3 dozen folks who had perhaps moved or changed residency may have been disqualified. 364,000 challenges to voter registration coordinated by one partisan group during a crucial Senate runoff. I know, Vice Chair, but you're not here to comment on policy. Georgia's state legislature passed a law in their 2 sessions ago that made it much easier for anyone to bring unlimited challenges of their fellow citizens' voter registration. What I want to ask you is this: how does it impact a county election board already stretched thin, already, and I think we can all agree, regrettably, relying upon funding other than from the state in many cases, just to cover the basics, already perhaps unable to field enough polling places, already having difficulty dealing with all of their responsibilities? How does it impact a county election board when they suddenly get tens of thousands of frivolous challenges to the registrations of voters in that county?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. And I would say I'm recently returned from Georgia, where I met with folks from the Secretary's office, as well as Fulton County and the Athens-Clarke County Unified Government. And, I think when you look at the issue sort of broadly, again, I won't comment on the Georgia-specific issue there, but what we are seeing across the country are, again, based on mis and disinformation, sort of offices being inundated with tasks. And again, election offices are often very limited in the number of staff they have. And, when I think about some of the challenges they face when they have this kind of impact, there's only so many hours in the day, and that time is such a valuable commodity. And so when something that would normally get triple checked only gets double checked, that creates more opportunity for error, and you have the potential to create a self-fulfilling prophecy that you do see these human mistakes that happen in elections, but simply because people were overtaxed based on inquiries around false information.
So a large number of frivolous voter challenges can tie up the resources of a local election board, correct?
Certainly.
They can distract those resources from administering the election, correct?
Yes.
They can make it more difficult, therefore, for voters to access the franchise because the election administrators are tied up dealing with a torrent of frivolous challenges, correct?
That is certainly possible.
I just think, I'll just close, Madam Chair, by sort of making the point. What does it say about where we've come to in terms of the level of polarization in this society and the scorched earth politics of victory by any means, that people are reduced for obviously partisan reasons to trying to disenfranchise their own neighbors on false pretenses, or try to tie up already stretched thin election administration resources by saying, you know what, we're going to take a blunt instrument here and just say there might be hundreds of thousands of our fellow citizens. We want to make it harder for them to vote with no base for the challenge whatsoever. It is a deeply immoral practice, and the fact that Georgia's state legislature has explicitly sanctioned it, I think, is repugnant. And I'll yield. Thank you.
Thank you very much.